Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome to another day of seated activities, 30 days of seated OT with Dan. So we're going to be doing different seated self-regulation activities. Self-regulation just means movement, exercise, breathing, strategies, different things that we can incorporate into our routine that can help us to get our energy out, use our energy, use our muscles. And by doing that, breathing strategies, by doing these different things, we get to try to find opportunities to internally connect to ourselves in our own bodies, sometimes with the breathing, movement, exercises, right? Even the strategies just can help keep us present in our present moment, in our present bodies, which is how we become self-regulated, which just means finding that balance, finding that harmony, that peace within us, within each moment. Okay, so these are educational activities. Remember, it's not medical advice because that really needs to be done on an individual basis. So it's just educational strategies. So please, no matter what I'm showing and teaching, make sure that you are all doing, everyone is doing what's best for them. Everyone is doing what's best for them. So make sure you are making sure that everything you do is safe, pain-free. There should be no pain with anything that we're doing. Everything should be safe. However your body feels, listen to your body. Okay? So these activities are meant for parents, families, caregivers to be doing together with their students, children, to also help learn these different strategies, exercises, activities, and see where we can incorporate them into the routine. All right, so since I'm not able to see what anyone else is doing, please also make sure you are safe and careful in everything that you do. Consult with a doctor, primary care physician, healthcare provider before starting if you need to. All right, so let's have some fun, stay safe and careful, and let's get started. Oops. All right, so what are we going to be doing today? So if you've tuned in to our last 2 weeks, we've been doing our weekly reviews. So we did our letters A, B, C, D. Then we did E, F, G, H. So for this week, we have our letters I, J, K, L. Let me come a little closer so you can see. Right? Remember, you can write this down as we go along, and maybe you are only writing the uppercase letter, or maybe you're only writing the upper and lowercase letters, or maybe you're just writing uppercase in our words, okay? Or maybe you're writing everything that I have written here. As we go along, you can also write with your finger. Students can write with their finger, tracing along or in the air. It's a nice way to practice just how our eyes and our brain work together, right? How our vision and our mind are able to coordinate and work together. And it also can help with handwriting as well. Okay, so we turn one page at a time. It's a really good way to practice how our fingers manipulate items and objects within them by turning just one page at a time. So we use these fingers, turn one page at a time, and we come to our first letter for today, our letter I. All right, so for our letter I, our first word is iguana. And yeah, that second one, whoo, we're not there yet, but see that second one? So have a fun one for that. Okay, our first one is iguana. So what do we do for iguana? Ooh, that's nice lighting. Okay, iguana. Iguana is an animal movement where we are crawling like an iguana. So when we're doing it sitting, okay, what we want to do is we want to have one leg come up and our other opposite arm comes up. Okay, then they come down together, then our other leg comes up, and the opposite arm comes up. Okay, so our iguana crawl is a crawl that looks like this. So it's an exercise movement where it's getting both sides of our body working. Okay, and we can try to lift that arm all the way up and that leg all the way up. Okay, when we're doing this, remember we're trying to stay sitting up straight. Okay, and we're lifting the leg just as high as the leg can go, squeezing from the actual leg muscle itself. So we don't want to lean back to get this leg up. So if your leg is just coming just a tiny bit off the ground, just like this, just a little bit off the ground, then that's okay, right? This is how we strengthen these leg muscles. If the leg is not coming off the ground at all, maybe we can try pushing up on our ball of our foot, okay? We can even start to rock to get a little higher. And we could just lift just like this, okay? If the leg is not moving up at all, then we can just move with our arms, just going opposite arms, okay? So whatever feels right for you, whatever feels good for you, let's try 10 together. So we go 1. Remember, we're not rocking if we're lifting this leg, if we're lifting our legs, it's not movement in the body, just in that leg alone. 1, 2, like an iguana is crawling. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, that is our iguana crawl. So our iguana walk, iguana crawl. And remember, iguanas have claws and they can crawl up trees. So if an iguana was crawling up a tree, this is how it would look. Sorry. Okay. Just like we just did our iguana crawl together just now. Okay, perfect. Now we go to our next letter I activity. And this is a fun one. What does that say? Ice cream. Remember, you can write this down as well. Okay, or practice tracing with your finger or writing in the air. Get your whole arm moving, right? Each letter you can write along in the air, and it's a nice exercise for our shoulder and for our brain. Ice cream. How do we do ice cream? What is ice cream? Ice cream is a fun exercise using cups, but we can also do it using anything that might balance, right? So we're gonna do one arm at a time. So we can put these cups either on a table, somewhere where they're supported, and we're just gonna be pulling up one cup at a time. Okay, so I'm gonna have it here so I can support it. All right, so one arm is gonna hold our first cup, and you can hold it any which way that you want, either with the bottom facing up or the top. So the bottom might be a little bit easier. Okay, and what we're gonna do is make sure that we're not resting our arm on an armrest. We're gonna lift our elbow up and hold this out in front of us. If it's hard to hold it far away from you, we can hold it close by, that's okay. And with the other hand, we're gonna stack cups on here, just like this was an ice cream cone, and we're stacking different flavors of ice cream. So what might we be stacking? If this is our cone, this is chocolate, vanilla, maybe we could get another flavor, strawberry. Whoa. Can we get one more flavor on here? Oh. And eventually the cups fall in, that's okay. And see if we can have someone help us to clean up, pick it up, okay? Or if it's close by, maybe we're able to reach down and get it ourselves, right? Ice cream is a really good shoulder activity. So you can try it again on the same arm if you'd like, and try it one more time, and even just to stack the cups. So what we do is we are lifting our arm up. So our arm is fully up. So when we're putting our ice cream in, even if we put them all in there, right? If we have a multiple cups, a bunch of cups, we could just put them all inside. okay, if we don't want to balance. So 4, 5, 6, right? And we might be starting to feel it in our shoulder. 7, so I only have 7 cups. If I can still go, then I'll unstack it. 1, 2. So this is our ice cream activity. So it ends up being a really good exercise for the shoulder. And remember, the stronger our shoulders are, the more movement and control we can have at our fingers. Okay? If it starts to get heavy, hurts the shoulder, hurts the back, you can bring your arm in a little or lower it a little until we finish stacking and unstacking our ice cream cups. Don't forget, everything we do in one hand, we need to do in the other. So again, we can either stack it or try our balance challenge. So same thing. Maybe we set just a number. So I'm going to go for 4 cups. So here's 1, 2, 3. Can I get number 4? Hold it out, hold it out. Oh, close, right? And then we would just unstack it as well. Okay, get a nice exercise in the muscles of our shoulder, okay? And nice and careful with the pickup if there's somebody around to help us, if we have anything that can help us to pick these items up so that we are careful, right? Always, always careful, number 1. All right, so our letter I, we have finished for our letter I, our iguana and ice cream. Let's check those off. Okay. And we turn the page. Next letter, J. Okay. 2 J exercises. Jellyfish and Jello Jiggles. Okay, our jellyfish is first. So our jellyfish, what does a jellyfish look like when it swims? Our jellyfish is a stretching exercise. We stretch our arms out just like jellyfish tentacles, and we bring our arms together to swim away. So jellyfish, swimming away. Okay? So if we want to get really far, we might be going faster, but we don't want to go too fast because it's actually better for our muscles to go nice and slow and controlled. So it looks like this. Hands together, come in, hands come out, push all the water away to jellyfish swim. And the hands come back and do it again. Okay? Make sure there's no pain in your shoulders and your back. It's a nice stretch. We can go reverse. Okay? If we're sitting in a chair, we can try to go with our legs as well. So lift those legs up, bring them out, kick them together, bring them in, out. And make sure you have room. Bring them together, out. All right, try both the arms and the legs together. Okay, our jellyfish. Okay, we can jellyfish from our hands as well, which goes like this. We can actually swim our hands away. And to get a nice big stretch, right, we can get our arms across our bodies as much as they go. And jellyfish. All the way across our bodies. All right, our jellyfish. Next is our Jello Jiggle. So Jello Jiggle is a stretching movement, kind of a flow, where think about how Jello looks. Jello jiggles, right? Our Jello Jiggle, we just start jiggling our body like it's Jello, okay? We get our arms, jiggle our arms like Jello. It's kind of like a dance. So we're doing our Jello Jiggle. What we want to do is bring our arms up over our head, and we're still jiggling just like Jello. Hey, there's the light. Jiggle like Jello. Okay, we bring our arms over, and we're jiggling like Jello. As we bring our arms over, the side that we are reaching towards, the other leg and hip, we want to make sure stays down. So we don't want to start lifting this leg. With our Jello Jiggle, we want to make sure that our hip, our bottom is secure down into the seat. And with our arm, we are pulling away. Okay, so as we're pulling away, our leg and hip are down into the seat. And same thing for the other side. Our Jello Jiggle, and as we start reaching away on the other side, our opposite hip and leg are in the seat. Okay, so our Jello Jiggle, we come up and we jiggle one way, keeping our leg in the ground. Okay, if it's hard to jiggle, we could just do a stretch. And we can keep one arm down if we want for support, or on our lap. Okay, jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. And the other way as well. Jiggle, keeping that opposite hip and bottom down. Jiggle, jiggle. Okay, our Jello Jiggle, and then we come back to the middle. And this is our Jello Jiggle. Okay, nice way to shake out our arms, shake out our legs as well. Jiggle those legs one at a time or two at a time, and just jiggle everything. Nice way to just let it all go. Okay, loosen everything up. Jiggle our whole body. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. All right, so the jellyfish and the Jello Jiggle go well together, right? Okay, so our letter J, jellyfish, and Jello Jiggle. Let's go ahead and cross those out. Okay, and we turn our page for our letter K. Okay, for the letter K, we have kite blowing. All right, kite blowing is an activity where we make a kite and we just practice blowing that kite to make it fly. All right, so there is a video that I made about a kite that we can make out of a piece of paper, and it's very easy to make. It's in the 30 Days of OT with Dan, also in K, also in kite blowing. There is a kite, but I want to challenge you to see what else you can make that we can practice blowing. So it can be either our kite, or it could be just a piece of paper, or it could be a paper airplane. And more than a paper airplane, what about a jet? So I just did a video for 30 days of tabletop activities. For J, I did jet planes. And I did 3 jet planes, and they're, really awesome. And so I want to use one of those jet planes here today. So if you didn't see the video, these are the 3 jet planes we made. So we made 1, 2, and 3. Telling you, we made awesome ones. All right, so we can use these jet planes. So for our kite blowing activity, we can blow either with or without a straw. Using a straw is a nice way to really have to use our breath. Okay, so if we just have it on our hand, right, we can see if we can blow it off. Take a big breath. It's close. Almost there. Hey, and it finally took off. So we can do it on a table as well. You know, just kind of seeing if we can blow it off the table. Okay, this one does not seem to be flying away, but what about from a pillow? With a kite, with a piece of paper, same thing. Oh, so it's just a way to practice some breathing, and it's basically breathing through a straw. So see if you can find something to blow with a straw. All right, and I'm not saying to put anything into the straw and blow it like that, okay? What I mean is blowing either a paper airplane or a kite like we did for our letter K in 30 Days of OT with Dan, or here in our letter J, jet planes in 30 days of tabletop activities, or even just a piece of paper, right? So with a piece of paper, you might see that the paper starts to look like it's almost flying. When you're breathing, breathe in through the nose and then blow it out. Right, or from the side. So what happens is we end up needing more air usually. So it's a good practice that instead of breathing like that, we can focus on getting another big breath in through our nose and doing our breathing. Okay, so it's just some different breathing activities, and that's for our letter K, kite balance. Right, then we move to K balance. Kite blowing. Then K balance is our next K activity. Okay, let me put this jet. Oh, it flies nice. Okay, so K balance. K balance is going to require us to make the letter K with our body. So we can do this sitting or standing. So if we're sitting, then we kick our legs out forward so that it looks like the letter K. We might even sit closer to the edge of our chair, okay? But again, being careful so that we don't fall out of the chair, all right? And we might even try to get our feet on the ground. Whatever feels best for your body, whatever feels best for you. We sit up nice and straight, nice and tall. We lift our arms up, and we make our letter K. Try to keep those legs out straight in front of you. They might even come up off the ground. And this is our letter K. Okay, so we can breathe into our balance, K balance here by breathing in and breathing out. Your hands could face each other, or they can face towards the ceiling or face down, whatever feels more comfortable. You do one more breath. And on the exhale, we can let it go. Okay, if we want to try this one standing, so again, we want to make sure we have something to hold on to. Okay, let me just tilt this camera a tiny bit. Okay, so if we are standing, we want to make sure to have something to hold on to, either with our arms or have a person nearby. And what we want to do is kick our leg forward. Kick one leg forward. Okay, so we don't have to lift that leg up. That leg can stay on the ground just a little bit forward. And then we lift our arms up. Same thing, we take a breath. And exhale. And again. And exhale. Okay, and we can do the same thing for the other side. Holding on to something, just step one leg forward, and again, breathing out, in, and relax. Okay, if we have something to hold on to, then we can try to lift that leg up and hold that leg out, or the full standing K is with that leg up, and we lift our arms up and we balance. And we can come down, just one breath. Okay, with the other leg as well. So if we can get that leg up off the ground, breathe in. And we come down. And reach back and have a seat. Okay, so remember, whatever feels best for you, whatever feels most comfortable for you, that's our full K balance in all different ways, okay? So sitting, standing, different variations. All right, we can cross out our kite blowing and K balance. And let's turn to our last letter for today, our letter L. Okay, so for letter L, remember you can write this along with me. The first thing we're going to be doing is our lion breath, breathing activity. Okay? Yep. I wasn't sure if there was one more letter. Okay, lion breath. So for lion breath, we want to sit comfortably in our chair. Lion breath is a good way to get some heat out of us. It's a nice way to get some hotness out of us. So if we're ever feeling hot, like hot, so either upset or angry or frustrated or stressed out or just very excited and we're just feeling hot or very happy, right? Excuse me, but if it's making it so that we're not focusing, or it's hard for us to pay attention, then we can use our lion breath. So for lion breath, we breathe in through the nose. And what does a lion sound like? A lion roars. So let's try our roar. Okay, so that's our lion breath, but we're going to try it again. This time we stick our tongue out. So with your hands, you can have your hands on your legs. So it's kind of like lion claws. Okay, just digging deep into our arms. So we can push our hands into our legs, push our hands into our legs. It'll help us to sit up straight, relax our shoulders, right? So we breathe in through our nose. And this time, lion breath with our tongue out. Okay, one more, breathe in. And roar, tongue out, let it all out. Okay, you can also do this with a ha sound. All right, so let it all out. Okay, with the ha, it goes like this. All right, one more time. I want you to give it your all. Doesn't matter if it looks silly. We are all going to be roaring lions. Ready? Breathe in. Nice and deep all the way. And let all of it out here. Okay, and see how you feel. So that lion breath is one that can get that heat, that hotness out, okay? But it can also make us feel energized and give us energy through that roar sound. So it's a powerful, empowering one. And remember, breathing feels different for everyone. So it's just a fun thing to try and see if you like it and see if you can use it. Let me tilt this camera a tiny bit. Okay. Our last one for L is lines. Okay, so lines, what we can do is on a piece of paper, we can draw different kinds of lines. So I actually have this paper right here. So I did an activity called our multi-motor obstacle course. And I'm gonna just be using the lines from here. So what kind of lines do you see? See our zigzag lines, curvy lines here, dotted lines, wavy lines, cloud lines, castle, box lines, right? Circle and triangle. These are even more, right? Our wave lines and our spiral, okay? As well as our straight lines, forward lines. Okay, so what we can do for our letter L lines is moving our hands and arms and legs actually into directions of these lines. So if we use a straight line, for example, we can trace, imagine we're tracing along a straight line with our finger, and we could trace forward and back on a straight line. What about our next finger? A curvy line. So curve, we're also going forward and curve backwards. Okay, what about our next finger? A diagonal line or a angled line. Zigzag, zigzag. And back. Okay, what about our wave line with our pinky? So it's kind of like a forward and back. Right, so it's a nice way to just practice visualizing these lines in our head. If that's a little hard, we can always draw one of these lines or multiple lines, different lines out. Here we have a bunch of different lines, okay? Even our dotted lines. So maybe now with the whole hand, we try dotted lines. So we go dot, 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 and backwards. Okay, we can do both hands together. So one finger at a time like we did, doing our straight line and back. Our next finger does our curve line, which curves one way up and another way back. Our next finger does our zigzag lines, forward and back. And our pinky does our wave. And back. Then both hands, we're gonna do our dotted lines, which is a jump, 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 jump. What about dotted lines to the side? Jump, 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 jump. Okay, we can use our hands. Zigzag lines forward. Zigzag lines backwards. What about to the side? And back. Okay, so it's a nice, that letter L is a nice way to do a little stretching, a little movement with our arms, our fingers, and it's a good way to use our brain to think about what these lines look like. And we can always draw them on paper as well if we need a little reference, visual reference point. Okay, while sitting, and this will be our last one, while sitting, we can try to do the same thing with our legs, either bringing our legs forward in a line or back. Okay, or maybe we're trying a zigzag to bring it out forward and a zigzag to bring it back. Okay, so we'll try to move from the hip if we do that, not so much the knee. Okay, or a dotted line with 2 feet. Okay, or 1 foot. It's a curvy line. Okay, so different lines, different patterns. We can end with the other foot, right? Maybe we're doing an angled line here. With those angle lines, try to move from the hips, not the knee. And we come back. All right, so some different ways. Yeah. Where did our paper go? Some different ways that we can move our hands, fingers, arms, and feet even in our different lines is our lines for letter L. All right, let's cross these two out. Check them off. And that is our IJKL activities for this week. All right, so I hope you enjoyed. Our next page is a blank page. So tune in again next week for our next 4 letters. And I hope you are enjoying. I hope they are helpful. Remember, please be careful. Listen to your own body, okay? These are educational activities, not medical advice, because that needs to be individualized to each person. So please make sure you are safe and careful. Consult with your doctor, primary care physician, healthcare provider before starting if you need to. Have fun, practice, learn these different strategies. It's for parents, families, educators, teachers to do with their children and students to help learn and implement these different strategies and activities. And I hope everyone has fun. And remember, number 1 is be safe, be careful, okay? Everything is at your own risk, so please, please be careful. If it doesn't feel good for your body, don't do it, all right? Hope you enjoy, and I hope to see you again next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.